Hello everyone, and welcome to another special edition of Inside the Den. Now today Inside the Den we're going to take a look at the top 10 sci-fi superhero free-to-play MMORPGs for 2011. Now we compiled several different criteria, everything from graphics to sound to UI to player base, all kinds of different stuff to compile our top 10 list. Now you may agree with our list, you may not agree with our list. Either way, head on over to MMODen.com/forums and tell us exactly which games you think should be on the list or which games on our list shouldn't have made it. But let's get started and take a look at the top 10 games in sci-fi and superhero category free-to-play MMORPGs for 2011. Alright, let's get started with number 10. Number 10 on our list is Argo Online. Argo Online is a sci-fi fantasy MMORPG which mixes both sci-fi and fantasy in kind of a steampunk fashion, giving characters the opportunity to run around and do battle with everything from guns to swords to plasma weapons, and even using spells. Now you have two warring factions, and on each side you're going to have 8 classes to choose from. This becomes very important, especially once you get into the game's deep PvP, which goes from your standard just one-on-one battle all the way up to epic large-scale battles. Later in the game you'll get into some pretty deep raid instances and your standard, 5v incidences and stuff like that. You've got loads and loads of quests to complete, a full pest system, and the character customization is top-notch. You also have a really deep skill tree for each character that you play. So Argo Online, give it a shot. And coming in at number 9 is Hellgate Global. This post-apocalyptic sci-fi kind of mix between an MMORPG and shooter was originally launched as a pay-to-play and migrated over to free-to-play around the middle of 2011. The game has a ton of different cool classes that you can check out, really interesting massive boss battles, PvP that you can battle your friends or your enemies, and a really in-depth crafting system. Not one to take lightly. Hellgate Global is constantly updating with not only one, but so far 2 updates, and they're looking for more. And coming in at number 8, we've got another game that migrated from pay-to-play to free-to-play, and that's City of Heroes. You've got an immensely large game world to roam around in, and before you even get to that, you've got one of the best character creation and customization of any game on the market. Even though the game's graphics are a bit dated, it's still top-notch. And because of that, you've got tons and tons of playable classes because you can pick and choose all kinds of different things that really define what your character's going to be. The game world is absolutely enormous. You can run around all over the place, different zones to conquer, and different instances to take over and complete. You've got many different PvP options, which are based around the hero and villains factions that are essentially set up inside the game. And coming in at number 7 is Fallen Earth from Gamers First. Now, Fallen Earth has one of the best character creation systems on the market. You really have a ton of different options as far as choosing how you want your character to look and how you're going to have your persona be when you're running around the world. When speaking around running around the world is absolutely gigantic. It is so big that the game has to give you a mount almost right away. And that's one of the nice things, is the game has a ton of different mounts. But when you really get into the nitty-gritty, it's the PvP. And the PvP is set up very similar to a lot of first-person shooters, with deathmatch, survival, assault, capture the flag, large-scale clan wars, and stuff like that. But as you advance, you're going to go through a crafting and skill system that is possibly one of the best in the market. You get to pick exactly how your character plays out both of these systems and what you learn. Go check out Fallen Earth. Number 6 on our countdown is Battlestar Galactica Online. Now, the graphics are absolutely beautiful in Battlestar Galactica Online, and that's a lot to be said for a game that plays right in your browser. Now, the game is obviously based upon the Battlestar Galactica TV series, but once you get in there and pass the tutorial, which is highly recommended, You have a lot of different ship customizations and weapons that you can place upon your ship. On top of that, you're going to mine for different materials that you're going to be able to create your own customizations and weapons. But don't think that that's going to be easy. The PvP is open world and you can be taken out at any time. So you're going to spend a lot of time defending those mines that you want to get resources from. So get your buddies together and make sure you're well protected. As we reach the second half of our countdown, we come to number 5, Champions Online. Champions Online is a superhero-themed MMORPG with a unique art style and storyline that makes a character feel like you're playing right through a comic book. Champions Online deep character creation makes sure that no two characters are alike. You've got loads of missions to play through and an immense game world to check out. The combat and gameplay is fast-paced and very, very action-oriented. As far as instances are concerned, the game boasts both timed and group dungeons for you to conquer. And once you get into the player versus player, latter game is massive player versus player nation wars. So go check out Champions Online. Moving on to number 4, we bring S4 League. Now S4 League could have very easily fit on our shooter list, but it has a lot of sci-fi to it, so we went ahead and brought it over here and put it on our sci-fi list. One of the great things about the game is its solid music. The music is great. You get in there and you constantly feel like you're ready for action. Large number of varied weapons, huge player base, stylish graphics. Definitely make sure you take the time to do the tutorial. Obviously, because it is a shooter, you're not going to have this insane character creation. But once you get into the game, there's a good variety of different clothing and stuff like that to stylize your character. And there's a lot of different skills that you can pick up through the gameplay, and a lot of different skills that you can pick up and assign to your player and use during your matches. Number 3 on our list, we've got Black Prophecy. Black Prophecy is a science fiction space combat shooter with probably some of the best graphics on the market today. The graphics are amazing. On top of that, you jump right in, fast-paced action combat. You're right out there in space, battling it out, dueling it out. Right away, player versus player combat is available for you pretty much right from the get-go. Not only that, but you've got PvP missions. You've got a really interesting backstory that plays out throughout the entire portion of your gameplay and through the missions that you do. You're going to be able to take and have your ship and be able to pick and kind of pick your part, put different pieces here and there, and real modular ship design. And then on top of that, once you join a clan, and later on once your clan reaches a certain level, you're going to be able to build your own station. And your clan station has also got that modular ship design. You got resource management where you're going to go out and battle PvP, battle other players for resources. Number 2 on our countdown is Global Agenda Free Agent. Getting started, you're going to choose one of 4 different classes in an in-depth character creation process. Once you're through that, you're going to process through a highly recommended tutorial. After that, you're going to go through and play in not only PvE but PvP missions that are not only large in scale but also paramount to your progression through the game. The crafting system is a huge part of the game. You're going to want to pay attention and make sure that you're out there in the PvE areas mining different items so you can create better items for you to participate not only PvE but PvP. Graphically, the game comes with a high production value, something to be expected from a game that was once pay to play. So go check out Global Agenda Free Agent. Alright, moving on to our number 1 game in the free-to-play sci-fi superhero MMORPG category. We have DC Universe Online. Right from the beginning, you're going to see a high production value, exactly what you would expect out of a game that was once pay to play. Now recently this went free to play only in the beginning of November, but since then you've seen a massive explosion of player base. In getting started, you're going to be able to create your character, and during that creation you're going to pick either one of 2 sides, either superhero or villain, and set out to emulate your character in the eyes of one of your favorite superheroes in the DC universe. Everything from Batman to Superman to the Joker, so on and so forth. The combat, once you get into the game, is fast-paced and action-packed. The game's storyline is going to send you through all the usual cityscapes that you know from all your famous DC comics. Everything from Gotham City to Arkham Asylum to the Justice League to Metropolis, all over the place. And like I said, story-driven background gives the game just that complete feel and complete nature. Not only can you play the game on your PC, but you can also play it on a PS3 and play with characters on both sides. And that concludes the top 10 sci-fi, superhero, free-to-play MMORPGs for 2011 from MMODen. Now you may agree with our list, you may not agree with our list. Either way, head on over to MMODen.com/forums and tell us exactly which games you think should make the top 10 for 2011 and which games you're playing right now. Until next time, thanks for watching.